Thanks for listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast. I'm your host, Mike Luke, joined by the venerable Jason Scheer, the wise old sage of the Southwest. Hello, Jason Scheer. How are you?
Splendid, Michael. How are you?
All right. The wise old sage. Scheer, how old are you?
40. Soon to be 41.
All right. When I say, so Scheer and I are split by 2 years. So when I say the wise old sage, I say that with the utmost respect and deference to my elder. Okay. Now we got a lot to get to. Jacob Franklin is back behind the scenes. A lot of people were worried about Jacob Franklin, but Jacob Franklin is doing much better now. We have been catching strays from Shane Diefenbach behind the scenes as well. Shane Diefenbach making fun of me. I deserved it, but I still do not like it. All right. But we got a lot to get to this show. So we've got we're going to talk more Texas defensive backs. We got a recruiting update, one good, one not so good. And we are going to talk a little bit of NBA draft. But first, let's talk NBA draft. Now, take this for what it's worth, because I've been wrong on this young man from day one.
Worth a lot, Mike. It's worth a lot. All your opinions.
It is. I mean, these are gold. But Pelle Larsson. Looks like Pelle Larsson might go in the second round. I don't see it. I don't know how it's happened, but it looks like he is going to be drafted. Now, there was on the Ringer of the Athletic, one said there's a shades of Grayson Allen and Desmond Bain. I see none of that. Grayson Allen in college was a monster. I mean, he was, literally and figuratively. He was getting 22 a game. First team All-American. I did not see it, Scheer, but I've been wrong. What say you?
No, I don't see that. That's a heck of a comparison. I mean, Grayson he's a prick, but he was really good in college, and he's pretty good in the NBA. That'd be awesome. I think we know why that comparison's made, because
right.
But I think he could be a solid role player. Like, I really do. I think Pelle could get some time in the NBA. He'll never be a starter or an all-star or anything like that, but I don't see why he can't get a little bit of playing time here and there.
What about Desmond Bain, who's a borderline all-star? You see shades of that as well.
No, not at all. Desmond Bain's also, isn't he significantly more athletic?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see it. Like I said, here's my question with Pelle. And again, I've been wrong many times, and it won't be the last time. Pelle, I don't believe, is Pelle really able to shoot the 3-point shot in the way to be the 3 and D? The reason I ask is because he would shoot a couple a game here, but he never really, like, if he made a shot, then he missed, or if he missed a shot and it was given right back to him, he wasn't shooting it again. He didn't necessarily strike me as having that confidence.
No, I agree with you, but he had really good workouts. I mean, I've heard from a few people that his individual workouts were really good. He did pretty good with the athleticism tests at the combine and all that. And if you're a team that doesn't need an immediate impact guy, Pelle's a good locker room guy, nice kid, all that. You take a chance. If it doesn't work out, whatever.
All right, Desmond Bain. Oh, very good. Joseph already coming in here. Desmond Bain is a top 5 worst built player in the MNBA. Agreed. The MNBA draft is today. We'll use this a couple times during the show. All right, like I said, take it for what it's worth. I don't see it, but I've been wrong as well. Yes, death, taxes, and Mike hating on Pelle. Now, I will say that now, let me ask you this, Scheer. Is he on an active roster next season? Not one of these two-way things.
No.
Agreed.
No.
Okay. So you don't think he's going to play in the NBA?
I do. I just don't. I think, again, if you're in a situation of the team that I just said would be likely to draft Pelle, you're going to put him in the, I don't know, two-way. I think he gets a two-way. It's really weird to me because I saw that Sam Viceni, who I like, or the Athletic mock draft or whatever it is, and they had Keyshawn not being drafted.
Yeah.
I thought Keyshawn was a lock to be drafted. Yeah. More than Pelle. I don't know.
We're going to get to Keyshawn. Keyshawn Johnson, to me, is that's a little bit of a different one. Keyshawn Johnson. He was very, very good here at the U of A. You know what's weird to me, though, about Keyshawn is that he was kind of billed as the hustle, all energy, up and down the court guy. And I mean, there were flashes of that, but he wasn't really that balls to the walls guy, he was good, but
I thought we both thought he would come in and be like an Aaron Gordon, Rondé type, where they guard everyone.
Junkyard dog.
Yeah, but he wasn't bad. We're not saying he was bad. He just wasn't what we thought he would be.
Right. Now, is there I think there is a Tommy Lloyd, though. If I'm Tommy Lloyd and I'm recruiting, and we're going to get to Tommy Lloyd's recruiting strategies, recruiting grades here, because I think it's a fascinating argument. But when it comes to Keyshawn Johnson, that's what I would say to any kids. That's what I would say to any kid that's in the transfer portal. I would say that listen, this dude was essentially an elbow and elbow guy, throwing some bows, getting some rebounds and stuff. He came here, became a 3-point shooter, and he became an NBA prospect. If I'm the Tommy gun, I am using that every single day of the week to try to sell people on my development.
Yeah, 100%. And Keyshawn said it too. I said, "Did you know how to shoot threes at San Diego State?" And he said, "Yeah, but it wasn't that style. Like the one thing Tommy does is he lets you shoot, right? Right. He ain't going to tell you to stop shooting. It will not happen. And so if you're a transfer and you want to get your shots up and you want to do it in more of a free offense, you do it with Tommy Lloyd. And Keyshawn showed. I think if Keyshawn stays at San Diego State, we're not talking about him getting drafted. His offensive game just shows no upside. And now that he's at Arizona, all of a sudden he's hitting some threes at a pretty good clip. Shows in more of an offensive game. And now you're a lot more intrigued than you were when he was at San Diego State.
No, I agree. So again, that's something that he can definitely hang his hat on. Now, I put this out here a little bit before, and I think it's something that we should talk about because it's actually a fairly good point. But first, there's something else that we need to talk about first. Illegal Pete's. Listen, Keyshawn Johnson, I think, got very, very comfortable in his time here at the U of A. And I think a big reason why was Illegal Pete's. You've heard the same thing behind the scenes.
Absolutely. Number one reason.
It was a big, big reason. And I think it's a recruiting selling point, Illegal Pete's. But Illegal Pete's is here for people like you or Keyshawn Johnson. Yeah, listen here. Illegal Pete's is here to bring you a win with their legendary sound check deal. Bring in your ticket stub from any ticketed event and a draft beer or margarita for a penny you will get. Illegal Pete's wants to celebrate with you, whether it's a pregame or postgame party. They got you covered for all your game day needs. Must purchase an adult entree to redeem Illegal Pete's soundcheck deal. Illegal Pete's, your go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beer. Very, very big deal with Illegal Pete's. All right, let's grade Tommy Lloyd's recruiting through 3 years. And granted, this isn't totally fair because some of the kids that he recruited out of high school were left because of transfer portal. Let's start with the transfer portal. It's an A+. He has mastered the transfer portal. I don't think that there's any way around it. He has been an A+. You look at Jaden Bradley, you look at Caleb Love, you look at Umar Ballo, leader of men, you look at Keyshawn Johnson, you look at Pella Larson. I can keep going. He's an A+ when it comes to the portal, Scheer.
Yeah, I have no complaints. Even the guys that I maybe weren't as big of fans of, they didn't stink. Like Courtney Ramey didn't stink. Justin Kier didn't stink. He really hasn't straight up missed on a player, has he?
No, I don't think he has. I don't think he has. They've all been somewhat productive. I mean, even a guy like Henderson.
Yeah, like even him. Like I wasn't a big fan of Henderson, but he wasn't terrible. Yeah. I think he's done really well in the portal, and I like what he did again in this class. And I have no complaints with his approach to the portal.
And I think with the portal, and this is something too, when we get into the other grades, which aren't so great, but I think with the portal, the one thing you also have to know too is that I would, man, that was a snort right there. I would rather have a coach in this day and age that can master the portal than can master domestic recruiting, because the domestic recruiting kids, they're probably going to leave at some point. Whereas at the portal, you're getting grown men. I think it's easy. I think it's easier. I think in this day and age, I think it's more important to master the portal, Jason Scheer.
Yeah. In this day and age, look, I'm never going to downplay the importance of high school recruiting, obviously with my job. But you can make up on missing. In football, it's the same way. If I don't land a running back in the portal out of high school, I go to the portal. If I don't land a wing out of high school and I'm Arizona, I'm just going to go to the portal. That's just the way it is now. High school recruiting, it's important. Don't get me wrong, but now there's ways around it.
Right. All right. Now let's talk about something that's a little bit easier. And so we give them both an A+ with the portal, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Okay. Now with that's a good question, Joseph. Well, remind us. We'll get back to that. Joseph said, "I know it's different, but don't you dog on Deion for doing that at the Colorado?" But he does. That's his entire roster building.
Right. You're right. Like you still need high school guys. I am, and I've said this on the show many times before. You cannot build an entire team out of the portal.
Right.
You can't. You cannot do it. You have to do some type of development with these younger guys because you got to worry about chemistry. Portal guys are often looking for their own shot. It is very, very, very difficult to do completely out of the portal.
Yes, exactly. Okay, now let's get to because the domestic recruiting is a little bit more interesting or a little bit more nuanced. International at best is a D. Listen, I love Tommy Lloyd. I hope he's here forever. International it's a D at best. Everybody he's brought in, there hasn't really been any contributor outside of Mount Crevis as a backup.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, I guess. It's hard.
We love Tommy, but it's not been good.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. Yeah.
Adama Ball, basically a non-contributor at the U of A.
And there's the thing, like Adama Ball is clearly good where he's at now, but it's not Arizona. I think Moralskis, and we talked to someone this past weekend, is going to be awesome at St. Mary's, but it's not Arizona. Like, I think he may evaluate these players relatively well, but not how they fit in on Arizona.
To me, it's an interesting combination of, I think, some misevals and some and some guys that just are going to be good somewhere else. Let's talk about, let's talk about the guys that just aren't good enough. Philly B, we love Philly B. Hashtag Philly B. Philly B was never going to be a real contributor here at the U of A.
You watch your mouth. You watch your mouth, Michael.
It is what it is. And the guy that we bet on as well, Conrad Martinez, probably. Now, we've talked to a few people as well that do not believe.
Listen, Mike, okay? None of this is on record. The people we talked to didn't want to go on record. Conrad still got a chance.
Yeah, no,
I'm just kidding. I don't think Conrad has much of a chance.
Okay, so there's two guys right there that just weren't good enough. And then let's look at Henry Vasar. My guess is that Henry will not be on the team next year and that Henry Vasar will be lumped into there as well. You've already got Adama Ball. You got Moralskis. So far, like I said, it just hasn't been good. I like Crevis, but I do. I'll just say that it's just not been good. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I mean, and I think Crevis is going to be good. I think that's kind of going to end the drought, so to speak. But you're right. I mean, there's no way to deny it.
Okay, now Joseph said, we're going to get to this as well. I'm a U of A fan though, through and through, but I still am confused why we don't like Deion. I will get to that. I have very strong feelings on Deion. I need to put this down so that I do not get scattershot. All right, now when it comes to the domestic recruiting, this is a little bit more of a mixed bag here, and where it's difficult for me. He's clearly shown that he can get players that are highly rated. And so, I mean, just look at it. Kylan Boswell was not good here, obviously, but he was a highly rated kid that could have gone to a lot of different places. KJ Lewis was clearly a hit. You guys messed up on the rankings. We don't hold that against you. But Carter Bryant could have gone pretty much anywhere that he wanted to go. And Arizona had Joson Sanon, Jamari Phillips. Joson Sanon was never going to come here. Obviously, Caleb Love was the reason. So I kind of give it a B. I give it a B. I think it's been B, C+. I think it's been okay. But you also got to factor in, too, that portal has been a big reason why that they probably haven't gotten some of these dudes.
Yeah. I mean, it's average, right? But at the same time, like, there's positions where Arizona clearly doesn't want to go the high school route, like point guard, for instance. I know for a fact, back when they were recruiting Jaden Bradley, we both said they don't want a high school point guard. They want a veteran college, and it's Jaden Bradley was that guy. Right. What?
No, they wanted Kerr Kriisa instead.
Well, no, but you know what I'm saying. Like when it came time to get Bradley, right? And point guard is a very, like, I can tell you they want Braden Burries as their high school point guard. And if Burries doesn't work out or Michael Brown doesn't work out, they're probably going to go to the portal, right? It's the way it works where they have targets. And if they're not able to land them, they go to the portal instead of, but at one point, Sanon was coming, Phillips was coming. And I know they didn't land those guys, but Phillips was, let's call it mutual, right? They still landed Carter Bryant. I'm very curious what they do in this class. I think this is a big class for Tommy.
We're going to talk about that class in just a second. Rick Trimmer, the great Rick Trimmer, the Tabella shade is surprising. He didn't recruit Tabellas. That's a Sean Miller recruit. So we can't really give him
Penn
Yeah, we can't really give him any credit for that. Now, Andy Bryant with a good question. Notice how I'm doing a better job of reading the comments here after those many deserved complaints. Andy Bryant said, domestic is a C. We can't judge 24 or 25 yet. They haven't played yet. I agree with you, but I'm just going with kids that were highly rated. And so, to me, it's more important, and I realize I could be wrong on this, but to me, it's more important for Tommy Lloyd to show that he can get highly rated kids at this stage. That to me is kind of where it's at, Scheer.
I mean, look, that's saying basically, why do we follow recruiting rankings? Because we're not going to know the true answer for multiple years. Like, why do that's no. I mean, you have to be able to land the higher ranked players, and those higher ranked players are going to have a better chance of success than the lower ranked players.
Right. So that's kind of where it's at. I go, like I said, I go B, C plus, somewhere in there. I don't hate it. Don't love it. It could have been higher, but I'll go, you know what? I'm going to go a B because I think if you would add Saint on or you would add Phillips or somebody in here as well, it probably looks a little bit differently. I am going to B, Jason Scheer.
Yeah, I'll go like B minus, C plus.
All right. C. Okay. So we got A plus for Portal. We got D for international, and we got somewhere in that B minus, C plus for the domestic recruiting. Deal? I
like it.
Okay. Now, we're going to get some Arizona basketball news and notes for the 2025 class. But first, I'm going to answer Joseph's question about Deion. Here's why I do not like Deion Sanders. I believe that Deion Sanders he's a propaganda merchant. And here's where I'm at with this. With Deion Sanders, Deion is all about accountability until it comes to Deion Sanders having to actually take accountability. Let's use an example of his kid Shiloh, for example. This is when Deion was coaching in high school and Shiloh was in high school. Deion messaged his security guard and said, "My brother in Christ, please go and get this cell phone from my son because my ex-wife is trying to call." And so the security guard does it. Guess what happens? Shiloh ends up beating the guy so bad that the dude is, to this day, he's handicapped, and he also lost a $12 million civil judgment on this. So guess what the kid does? The kid goes ahead and claims bankruptcy then. Deion does nothing to help out the security guard. As the kid's claiming bankruptcy, and tweeting out literally like 2 days earlier that he had $50K that he needed to spend in Louis baggage, and he said that he didn't have anything to spend. Deion let all of this go, didn't do anything. Deion basically, the second this all hit the fan, he disowned his kid to try to stay away from it. And then when it started going away, then he brought his kid back to Colorado. Deion, like I said, I got very little respect for Deion for this. And then he tweets out the other day, he says, if somebody criticizes you, just let it go because it's no big deal. This is the only coach I've ever seen where he says that where he goes after players because of their stats. I can't stand the guy at all. Period. What say you?
Well said. I just get the vibe. It's Deion is about Deion, right?
Period. Like nobody else.
Yeah, like stop saying like, oh, what coaches go to Twitter and go after players or go after fans? Just shut up and coach and win games. I think the big difference for me is Deion would be able to get away with a lot more in the college football community if he won some games.
Yes, exactly. But like I said, Deion is going to throw everybody and anybody under the bus that he can. I think there's no accountability. And he put out a tweet yesterday where he said that he was a leader of men. He would not follow his kids to the NFL because he leads men. He's not a follower. Dude, get out of here, man. No thanks. So Joseph, that's why I can't stand Deion Sanders. So it is like that. But I was mildly annoyed before it but that's where I'm at with Deion. The Shiloh Sanders thing to me is just that's an atrocity. So anyways, let's get back to a little bit of Arizona basketball news, a little bit of Arizona basketball recruiting. All right. We got some good news. We got some bad news. Well, I guess it depends on how you look at it. Tunde Esafu. So this thing has gone national. I'm just going to say now, I have absolutely no inside information on this, but he's going to take all of his visits. I believe that Tunde is going to the highest bidder. I have no inside information on that, but I do believe he is now going to the highest bidder. What say you, Jason Scheer?
Yeah, it feels that way. I mean, look, so here's the deal. Tunde's parents don't live in America. So when he goes on an official visit, these schools are flying out his parents, which is great. So naturally, Tunde wants to take 6 official visits, right?
Right.
And there's probably going to be some stuff offered by schools and all that Arizona may not offer. I'm not saying Arizona's out of it, but it's become a lot more difficult. And look, like Ole Miss is on his school list, right? Tunde's never mentioned Ole Miss to me once. Right. And Ole Miss is, no offense to Ole Miss, they have a reputation, right?
Yes.
And now it's legal. Now it's legal. Like, I don't care. But I'm just saying, like, Tennessee, Texas, Kansas, Baylor, Ole Miss, like, you kind of feel like you know where this is headed. And then all of a sudden there were rumors that he would end it, and now he doesn't want to end it till January. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that to me is where it's at, and at that point too, if you're the U of A, I don't think that you're necessarily going to get into a bidding war. But I will say this: there are this 2025 class is big for me when it comes to Tommy Lloyd's domestic recruiting. He has to have a monster class, in my opinion. You don't get Tunde, you still got a lot of other options. You have got, in my opinion, you have got to be able to get Braden Burries. You have to get. You were on Braden Burries before anybody else. You have a direct opening to likely a starting spot there. Again, you've been on him before anybody else. You can't lose him to UCLA or some other putt school. You've got to be able to get Braden Burries, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's a must get, and he's going to be tough, but I think he's a different type of kid as of now. I could be wrong. But I think Arizona is very much in there. UCLA is very much in there. There's a bunch of schools that are very much in there, but it's tough. I actually don't like when Arizona scheduled his official visit. He's already been on campus for his official. They have to get him back so he doesn't forget about that official visit. So that'll be one of their tasks. But yeah, I think Arizona is very much in there, and I don't believe any high school guys must land anymore with the portal. But he's pretty damn close to it.
All right. Oh, Tony Jones, the great Tony Jones. Bear the FD down, back the A. What's up, guys? Tony Jones, whenever I listen to They Not Like Us, and he's talking about all those Atlanta rappers, I think of the great Tony Jones. As the kids would say, IYKYK. Tony Jones. Yes, very good. Father of AJ Jones, who we'd love to see break out this year. But no, every time I think about that song where he's like, Drake going to Atlanta, I think of Tony Jones, because Tony Jones in Atlanta has dealt with Atlanta rappers as well, Jason Scheer. We know this to be fact.
It is a fact. That was very cool when you told us that.
Very, very cool. We like Tony Jones.
Your boy Muss is pulling a fast one right now, according to my Twitter sources.
All right, what do you got? Oh, by the way, I do know that song, but yeah, go ahead, Scheer, and then I will.
Muss is he's got a lot of NBA guys at his practice right now.
Okay,
not happy. Dalen Terry is at a USC practice.
Why?
I don't know. Chet Holmgren is at a USC practice. Why are these guys at USC practice? Braden Burries is at the same practice.
I don't like this.
I think Tunde is at the practice. Like, what are we doing here?
I told you, Muss is going to be a problem at USC. You know it, too.
Dude, I didn't realize, and I think I said this last year, but it hits me every year. Muss is like 5'2".
Dude, he is so, he makes me, dude, I like dwarf Muss.
Yeah, you tower over Muss. It's crazy.
All right, now, Tony Jones says, do you know the whole song yet? I'll just get a little bit. Once upon a time, all of us was in chains. Homies double back. Hold on a second. It's good. You hit Future when you couldn't see the club. Lil Baby help you get your lingo up. I got to work on it a little bit, Tony Jones. We'll get it next.
Dude, this is embarrassing.
It's very bad. No, it's very bad. I should have just sat on this one. This is very bad. So, all right, but yeah, Muss is going to be a problem at SC. He's going to get players in Los Angeles. You know it.
Atlanta was the Mecca, by the way.
Atlanta was the Mecca building railroads and trains. Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, Muss and Cronin. Combined height, 8 feet.
Yes, exactly. Combined 5. Yes, exactly. Now, well, hold on. Let me get one more bar in there. Oh, yeah. You think the Bay gonna let you disrespect Pac? I think that Oakland show gonna be your last stop. Very good. Very excited. Don't quit your day job. All right. So Sabrina Carpin. Thug makes you feel like you're slime in your head. You're not a, yeah, I know. Very good. All right. I will do much, much better next time. This has been awful. All right. I got to get this out of my system, though. I'm going to sing something really. I'm going to go do Shorty Wanna Be a Thug real quick from Tupac. Was a nice middle class, but no one knew the evil he'd do when he got a little bigger. Could help to find the ways, puffing on a Newport, plotting on another way to catch a case. Was only 16, yet convicted as a felon with a button. Yeah, there we go. I feel better about myself now.
Kevin WN, I tried to convince Mike to go up to Mick and ask how Hep C was, but he wouldn't do it.
Yes. And we walked right by Mick and he looked very concerned about Hep C.
Yeah.
Is that the most fake story ever?
Yes.
Yeah, no, Hep C. That was, hope Hep C will be, hope Hep C is okay. But Hep C, Hep Cronin, by the way. But no, 2025's got to be a big one. I also think you've got to be able to get Xavier on statin. I am at that point now. I think you've got to be able to send, you can give him 18 to 20 minutes per game as a freshman. Mo Krievis and then Tobe Awaka move on. He starts. That's where you got to be able to get it.
Yeah, but I like Staten, but I think, do they have to get him? They don't have to get him, Mike.
I think it would just look really
Awaka,
cool.
They have
talk about it, though.
I like Staten a lot, but again, it goes back to like, what role does he see himself in? I think that decides this whole recruitment. Yeah. If he's patient for a year, I think Arizona is very much in the picture. But UNLV, we both know UNLV is telling him he's going to start right away.
Right. Well, why can't Tommy just say that?
I mean, the roster says he's not.
Coach can say otherwise. All right. Now, Kamania from Harvard Westlake, if I'm not mistaken, 6'8" wing. Tommy Lloyd likes him a great deal. This is one of those things where Tommy annoys me a little bit, though, because I think Tommy got in on him late. I believe he's going to go to Gonzaga.
Yeah, I think Gonzaga is the favorite here, but the kid seems pretty open to other visits. Arizona has to get him on campus. He's probably going to decide that at the end of July. We're going to know in the next month or so if Arizona's in it, because there's so many schools offering. If Arizona could get him on an official visit, it's got a chance. And if not, obviously it's out.
This very much feels like one of those situations ultimately will be hard to get. I do believe that you're going to end up putting that on your board at some point.
Yeah. I think I've been very clear. This one is, I don't want to say it would be a surprise, but it's a battle. It's not going to be easy.
It's a battle. Okay, now, any thoughts about Big 12 schedule announcement tomorrow? Is that for basketball?
Yeah, they're announcing the home and away, not the days, just the home and away.
Oh, hey, real quick. I know that I told you that I wouldn't do this, and I'll give you some time off next week, but can you also come on the show tomorrow?
When? Tomorrow? Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sing No Vaseline now. And Eazy-E is smelling like MC Ren. I can't say it, but so we'll find that was Angel C just asking me to sing that. Damn, I'm glad y'all set it off. Used to be hard, now you just wet soft. Used to be down with the AK, but now I hear you in a video with Michelet. All right, keep going. That was good. But so that's we will have Scheer on tomorrow to be able to break down this Big 12 schedule as well. I'm very excited. Honestly, I am really excited to see. I'll be honest, and this is a shout out to Glenn. I am more excited to see the ASU basketball home and homes than I might even be with Arizona. I am very, very excited with the. I'm very, very excited to be able to see that, Scheer. Seeing ASU have like a 5-game gauntlet where they have to play Baylor, Houston, Kansas. Sign me up for 8.
Dude, I'm really excited about tomorrow, even though it's just a schedule drop. To answer Glenn's question, 2 games a week or 3, I believe we've already established it's 2, right? 1 home, 1 away every week.
Yeah.
And we're going to find out. It's going to be wild. Like ASU, we're going to know very soon with all these teams how good they are. But you're right. Like ASU, like for the Pac-12, ASU would have a great roster. It would. Right. Like I would say that ASU would compete to be in the top, 3 or 4 in the Pac-12?
I agree.
Right? Now all of a sudden you've got Houston. It is possible that like even Arizona, it is possible you have a stretch where it's like Kansas, Houston, Baylor. That's insane.
Yeah, for sure. Now, let's see. If Houston comes to McHale, you got to get a pick with Master P. We've actually seen Master P hide at recruiting events as well.
I introduced Mike to Master P.
Yes, exactly. Make him say,
I have Master P and Soap the Shaka's phone number.
Fool, I'm the kind that got the platinum plates. You got the big daddies. We got the big banks. Oh, there we go. But
I once saw Master P basically threatened to kill someone in a gym like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
This guy talked back to him, and that was a bad idea.
He's from the Calliope Project. So
it's a bad idea.
You do not mess with him. Oh,
some guy said something he didn't like, and I'm pretty sure he was close to killing him in the middle of the gym and getting away with it.
Now, check this out. By the way, ASU number 6, according to the great Shane Diefenbach.
And what?
Shane Diefenbach believes that ASU is going to be 6th in the Big 12 next year.
In the state? In the state?
No, in the Big 12. Shane Diefenbach said this.
Come on, man.
Hey, Jacob Franklin. Ask Jacob Franklin. You're listening to me right now. Ask Shane Diefenbach if he still believes that ASU will be 6th. But what time is this going to be released?
I don't know. Okay. I don't know.
All right, now, so let's get back to a little bit more of recruiting talk. Koa Pete. All right, you believe Arizona's going to get Koa Pete. I'm far more circumspect about Koa Pete.
I think it's the other way around. Okay, you know what? This bus thing is really bothering me. I got to ignore it.
Okay, stop. Yes, exactly.
Durant and James Harden just showed up to run at USC practice.
Durant and James Harden?
Yeah. I guess they're doing a run afterwards, and it happens to be in the Jalen Center.
Yeah, all right. Well, in the Jalen Center? Is that what they're calling it?
Yeah, I call it the Jalen Center.
Okay.
Hold on. He said they could be fighting to be top 6, projected them at number 11. Don't take him out.
I saw the video.
They're 11 or 6. That's 5 spots different.
So he's picking them 11th in the conference. Is that what you're saying, Jacob?
Or 6th. What does that mean?
Yeah. Did you read it? All right. Here's what the comment is saying. This is from the great Jacob Franklin. He said, he being Shane Diefenbach, said they could be fighting to be top 6. He projected them at 11 in his power rankings. He says, don't take that out of context. We can take it out of context any way we want. Shane Diefenbach is not here to defend himself. So either way, that's where he ranked him. He said they had the talent to fight for top 6. I'm excited to see that. Do we know what time that's going to be released though tomorrow, Scheer?
You just asked me. No.
All right. Well, anyways. Okay. But Koa Pete, though, going to be an interesting one. I believe that's another one where he is going to possibly go to the highest bidder.
Yeah, but I think Arizona knows that, and I think they're preparing for that. I don't think that'll catch Arizona off guard. They know what they need to do here. I think they'll be competitive in that.
Is he at the let me ask you this, and I've been thinking about this as well. Is he good enough to break the bank for 1 year?
Whoa. I said this years ago, and you yelled at me that I didn't think he was a college superstar.
I never said that.
Yes, you did. You yelled at me. You've been telling people all the time that I hate Gilbert Perry.
You did.
I think Koa Pete is a very good basketball player. Do I think he will come into college and average 20 and 10 and change the program around? Probably not.
Now, there is something that, all right, now we're going to get to football here in just a second, so we will find that out. But again, Braden Burries to me is the must get in this class. You got to get Braden Burries, in my opinion, Jason Scheer. What say you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Gringo Billy, we're going to get to Arizona football here. We got a lot to talk about. I disagree with this a little bit, Gringo Billy. But first, do you think that Koa Pete, during his entire thought process, has thought that how many Circle Ks there are in any state that I would possibly go to play in? Do you think that's ever crossed his mind?
I think that's whatever crosses his mind.
That is pretty much where it's at. And I believe that to be the case. Circle K, though, just like this. Shane Diefenbach very much likes Circle K. We know this for a fact. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. We need to still, where is that one Circle K one that you were, the one Circle K one?
Ladder Farms.
Yeah. All right. We still need a video of that. Check it out, though. Circle K.
I drove by Circle K that used to be by my old house. That is reliable. Little hood, but reliable.
Right. Okay.
Not Prince, Flowing Wells and Roger.
All right. Now, let's talk. We got a little bit more of, I'm talking about Tommy's International. Yeah, I agree with that. Now, let's talk Circle K. We very much appreciate Circle K and everything they do for us. Very, very good stuff. So let's talk now a little bit about Arizona football. We got some new commitments, Jason Scheer, and we're going to talk about the safeties. Lange. Now, Gringo Billy, I think we need to dispel this a little bit. The great Gringo Billy, by the way. He said too many Mountain West recruits. I originally thought that. But here's where I go by at this point. I look at their offer list. Scheer is actually right about this. I believe that he is right. I look at these and listen, if you've got offers from what, if you got offers from Kansas State, if you got offers from Houston, if you've got offers from trying to think here, Oregon, Washington, like a Deion Hinton, I'm okay with that. I'm more looking at the offers now. I need 3 stars though, and that's to me where it's a little bit different. With someone with Rich Rod, you weren't getting guys that had other good offers. That to me is the difference, Scheer.
Yeah, I mean, look, like the guy they chose today, like Coleman Patman, like he chose Arizona over Oklahoma State and TCU and whatever it was, right? Like he had offers from UW and Oklahoma State and TCU and Houston and Kansas State. Like,
right.
This is what I look for. Like, people are saying Rich Rod and Sumlin. I could go back and these dudes like had offers from no one. No, right. Like Portland State.
Yeah.
Like I don't like, and the class right now is ranked 38th, which is fine.
38th. We said that. We just need top 35 classes. Top 40.
And I think it is very doable. They're not done yet. If they could finish in that 35 to 40 range, I think they probably need to land a 4-star here and there. But I like this class. And the thing to me is it's linemen. Like they're landing linemen. And they very clearly can recruit. I think that whole whatever it is dead.
Right. I would agree with that. So now also with let's see here with Glenn coming in here again with the hard hitting. Let me ask you this: with ASU and Arizona, I believe that I think these classes are going to end up fairly similarly when it's all said and done with the rankings. What say you, Scheer?
ASU and Arizona?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be close. I really do.
And we will be merciless.
And to be honest, this isn't an ASU thing. If a school finishes 30th in the recruiting rankings and one school finishes 32nd, we're talking about like decimal point difference here.
Right, for sure. Yeah, I agree with that. Now, I will say this. Joseph says, Jed showed we have the capability to make it normal to land 4 stars. I will say this. Yes, but I will say that it's a little bit different now because the NIL was not a massive thing and Jed was lying to kids about the NIL.
The approach that Brennan and Fish take with NIL is complete opposite. Jed would lie and say that there's money available. That's not. Right. Like we know for a fact, and Zoe has told us this on record, if a running back comes to Zoe Carter and the first thing he asks about is NIL, Zoe will say Arizona's not for you. It's just not. We're not doing that. Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, Dennis Walsh says, are we now a permanent underclass? For instance, will we ever beat UCLA for a recruit? Yes. Carter Bryant. Boom. I don't know where you're getting that. Come on, Dennis. You're smarter than me.
I think people are overreacting to the NIL basketball stuff. Does it need to be better? Yes. Is Arizona going to disappear into whatever it's called? No. It's like there's certain recruits they can't land, just like football. There's certain recruits they can't land, and there's certain recruits that they don't want to get involved with. Will Riley, for instance, Illinois fans are going to love this, Mike.
Oh, good.
Will Riley would have been the 8th or 9th guy in Arizona this year. I don't care what Illinois fans think they know. He would have been. So why am I paying Will Riley $1 million? Why am I doing it?
Right. I know. I do. I totally agree with that. That's kind of where we're at. And with the basketball and football and NIL, it's totally different because with basketball and NIL, I do believe that it's fair to say that you have they're far more competitive against pretty much anybody. When it comes to football, there's going to be people that you're like, all right, if they're involved, we're just not going to be able to get it. That's just kind of the way it is. All right.
Football, and I see an SEC school involved, I'm done. I might as well move on.
Right now, exactly.
Not even try.
I'm not even trying. And again, unless there's like some real commitment to the school, then maybe that's the case. But we will is the $1 million for 2 years. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about Arizona's defensive backs recruiting. You look at this roster; it is loaded at the defensive back position. Obviously, you got a lot of really good safeties. You got 4 really good safeties. You also have got Tacario Davis, obviously as well, who's quite good. And the other spot but there's not a lot of depth. What this staff has done is they clearly targeted those defensive backs, and they have done an amazing job in short time overhauling this. You're going to have a flood of talent of defensive backs coming in next year that some of them are going to be ready to be able to contribute immediately. I mean, we'll break them all down here. We talked about Deion Hinton. Deion Hinton's going to be able to come in here and compete for playing time immediately at one of the cornerback, not safety positions. He will also, you're also looking at somebody like a Swade Griffin, who you talked about a little bit yesterday. With Swade Griffin, you think that he's going to get a significant jump. Obviously, Dwayne Aquina, lead recruiter, coached his father, Cedric. We've also got Gant as well. Let's talk about those three at first.
Yeah, I think it's important to know that this coaching staff recognizes what's going to happen with the secondary. I mean, you're losing Gunner, Dalton, Takario.
Right.
That is a rebuild. Genesis is going to be there, right? You'd assume he's starting spot. You're losing Stukes. You got to rebuild this secondary. And when you take a look at this class with Griffin and Hinton and Gant, and they just landed Coleman Patman this morning, they are rebuilding this secondary in a big way. Yes, they're going to be young, but these are all athletic guys with good size, and I think that's important.
Yes. Now, one thing that I think we do need to talk a little bit about here, Scheer, you said they're going to lose Dalton Johnson. Why would they lose Dalton Johnson?
Does he still have another year?
Yeah, Dalton Johnson's only going to be a junior, and that's a big one. You got Dalton Johnson back there and Genesis Smith at safety. You feel pretty good about things.
I feel like he's been there forever.
It does feel like he's been here forever, but
he's a guy, though, wouldn't surprise me, and I'm not saying this because I'm predicting it or whatever. He's a redshirt junior, so technically he could declare if he wanted to. But he's also a guy where, like, it's a situation where I look at all his teammates and his buddies are leaving. Maybe he decides to go get paid. And it wouldn't be the worst thing, and it would be understandable, right?
Right.
But I don't know that for sure.
Yeah, we're not advocating that, though.
No. Coleman Patman's another. By the way,
let's talk Coleman Patman.
It's not a mea culpa, so don't take it this way, okay? I stand by what I said, that Dwayne Aquina is an old white guy. But
you did say that.
His recruiting right now is pretty effing good.
Yeah.
I got to look in the Big 12 recruiter rankings, Mike. And when I go to those, Dwayne Aquina is third in the entire Big 12.
You want to know why Dwayne Aquina? You want to know why this isn't surprising to me at all? Because, dude, there are some old people that act old. He does not act old. He acts like, he is all over the place. He is a hip dude. And let's talk about Coleman Patman for a second. This is a perfect example here about, kind of the 3-star kids. You've got, here are his offer list. Tell me if this is acceptable for you. Arizona, TCU, Oklahoma State, and these were committable offers. He actually visited these places. He visited Oklahoma State. He visited TCU. Yes, that is all. Like I said, I'm thrilled with Dwayne Aquina. That was a big L for you, Scheer.
By the way, you know who Coleman Patman is related to?
Michael Patman.
Tyler Patman, another NFL vet, 5 years in the NFL.
Yep, there you go. And I also like Dwayne Aquina a great deal because of the shots that he's taken at Jed Fish. That is, yes.
Dwayne is yes. If you sit and talk to Dwayne, he will tell you exactly what he thinks.
Yes, exactly. And it's also no coincidence that he came back almost immediately after Jed left. Dwayne Aquina, yes. Jed Fish, but looking at this defensive backs recruiting, though, it's been pretty impressive, this overhaul. And I also kind of like that. How he's been able to go about doing it. He's targeted players that are not OKGs. Now, they're not 5-star kids, but they're clearly good enough as you judge by their offer list. And Aquina is also the one who Aquina is probably the best defensive backs coach in college football history. He just is. Now, I give Scheer a little bit of, I give Scheer a lot of grief, but I'm going to give him a little bit of a pass on Aquina because Scheer wasn't here when Aquina was here and really making his bones. So I don't really beat Scheer up too much on this, but this dude is a monster when it comes to defensive backs. 3 Thorpe Award winners, something like 11 first-round picks. Nobody really has a track record like Dwayne Aquina when it comes to coaching defensive backs, period.
Yeah, you said it well. I mean, look, it's funny, like Cedric Griffin, we take a look at him, like he was awesome, right? Yeah. And his in college, and his coach was Dwayne Aquina. So if you're Cedric Griffin's son, why the hell aren't you going to play for the dude that helped make your dad one of the best players in college?
And let's be on. Oh, and by the way, let's talk about this for a second. Nansen before Aquina, Dennis Walsh, the great Dennis Walsh. Nansen before Aquina. thumbs down. Nansen with Akina, thumbs up. Coincidence? What say you, Scheer?
I don't want to rip. I like Nansen, so I don't want
Nansen too.
to. I don't want to rip Nansen, but yeah, I mean, you got to assume it obviously helped immensely. And I think Nansen would say that too because they're friends still. Right. It's only a Jed thing. Akina and Nansen are buddies.
I have never heard anybody, honestly, from a player to a coach, honestly, that has outside of people that are totally in Jed's circle, you know what I'm talking about, that have anything bad to say about Johnny Nansen, the person. I think Johnny Nansen is a dude that people like being around, honestly.
I like Johnny a lot. Very down to earth when I saw him in McHale. Johnny's a good dude. Very human. And what I mean by that is there's coaches where you talk to them and you're just talking to a coach, right? Yes. But I see Johnny and this isn't, I don't mean this bad. I see Johnny in the hallways of McHale at a basketball game with a beer in his hand. He's a human being, right? Yes. Like Stoops was a human being. Rich Rod was a human being. Someone was not. Someone was just, right? It's like Brent Brennan is a guy where you could go get a beer with. Tommy Lloyd is a guy you could go get a beer with. Like, it's cool to have these type of coaches.
Yes, it's very cool to have these kind of coaches. And when I look at Johnny Nansen, guess what I think as well? Shady Rays.
Yes.
Johnny Nansen is 1,000% somebody that wears Shady Rays. We would agree on that.
Of course.
Now, here's the deal. When I saw Johnny Nansen and talking to BBN, no, he didn't, Robert Garetano. When I saw Johnny Nansen talking to BBN in front of the Graduate, he was wearing sunglasses. And these were really, really cool sunglasses. And I think the thing about it, too, is that I'm pretty sure they were Shady Rays. Here's the deal. Just like Johnny Nansen likely took this up, and Jacob Franklin likely took up as well, exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays has given out their... Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Head on over to shadyrays.com and use code PHNX for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Scheer, can you guys imagine Scheer with Shady Rays?
I actually looked the other day at the Shady Rays website.
They're pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff.
I've never really worn sunglasses, but I'm considering it. There's some very cool ones.
Do we think Jacob Franklin wears Shady Rays?
I would hope so. And I will say this about Shady Rays, and I'm serious. I was astounded by the amount of selection on that website. I was almost overwhelmed at how many different sunglasses they have.
It really is. Now, is there any possibility that I could look cool? Probably not. But if there
me and Bruce should get matching Shady Rays.
Oh man, Bruce is coming on the radio tomorrow. I cannot wait. But either way, Shady Rays, use code PHNX, be like Jacob Franklin or be like Glenn. Maybe you can be cool like Glenn as well. Kilroy, I know a bartender at Fleming's and he said Nansen used to torch fish. Doesn't surprise me at all. Like I said, Nansen's a real one though. And that's a reason that Dwayne Akina followed him as well.
I'm laughing at Glenn's story. I went bar hopping downtown at Flagstaff once and saw someone come stumbling out of a brewery at 1.
Yes. Hey, by the way, might get Shady Rays and grow the beard. I've told everybody this.
I don't know about the beard.
I've told many, many people this. I had to clear it with the girlfriend, but November 1, guess what starts coming back? The big red.
No shave November.
What's that?
No shave November.
Yeah, but then I'm just going to keep growing it though for quite a while though, like it was before, like it was like down to here. It was look very, very good. Good thing that I'm taking because, like I said,
hey now
with that beard. All right, but by the way, all right, now let's get back to business here. Do we know what time the Big 12 schedule is going to be released tomorrow?
I'm glad you asked me, Mike. No.
Can I run it by you?
Can I run it by you again?
Yes, exactly. So, but no, Dwayne Akina, I feel honestly, man, with this coaching staff, I feel very comfortable with this coaching staff. Now, just from a coaching perspective, because I don't think here's the deal. Here's the deal with Brent Brennan. I don't think that there's any way that Brent Brennan is going to suck. Now, could he be meh? Yes. I don't know. But I don't think there's any way that Brent Brennan is going to suck. Would you agree with that, Scheer?
Yeah. I don't. I think generally speaking, coaches that work really hard don't suck at their job.
Right.
And I think Brennan and his staff work really hard.
Yes, they work very hard. And, that's something that we got to say about Jacob Franklin as well. Jacob Franklin is the classic overachiever. He works very hard at what he does. Give you an idea, this guy had a medical emergency yesterday, and he was still texting me, helping me out with stuff. That's why we like Jacob Franklin, a very, very big deal around here. Jacob Franklin, a man, a leader of men, a analyze. Oh, never mind. That sounded terrible. But are you doing any traveling for any Big 12 games though, Scheer?
I'm thinking of it. Yeah, I'm thinking of UCF in Orlando for their space game.
Right. Yes. By the way,
I don't know. I might go to Jacob Franklin's hometown, go to Provo, watch a BYU game.
Oh, I'd love to go see it. Provo. Actually, is Jacob Franklin from Provo or Salt Lake City?
I don't know. It's a good Provo, right? I don't know.
Good question. Also, we got to talk Brad Rich. Great point. The great Brad Rich. We got to talk about the Lange commitment. This is another one that's kind of interesting for me. So he obviously committed. Brother, obviously. What should we know about him, Scheer?
Yeah, Michael Lange is. I believe
Lange. I like it. BPL.
Yeah, he was on the visit with his brother, and it's funny that he committed before his brother. I would assume his brother eventually commits, but you never know with that stuff. But Michael Lange is a very solid lineman, another big kid that they know well. That offensive line for Archbishop Reardon is insane.
Right.
Like, and they're landing each of them. Yeah, I mean, they're on fire. Like this morning, I woke up, I missed one. I slept in, Mike. I missed Coleman Patman. We talked about, and I missed. I didn't miss it, but Mays PC committed as well. Cal must hate Arizona. They switched to another one from Cal.
You sleep in, dude. You sleep in way too late.
Mike, I go to bed at like 2:30 and I wake up at 9. Like, come on.
Guess who gets up early at the crack of dawn to get the day started? Me.
The dude who calls me at the crack of dawn.
Yes, and you never answer. Oh, Meisner just says, "Why were you bothering someone with a medical emergency?" In all fairness to Jacob Franklin, I did not know that this is that this was a medical emergency. So that is fair point to me. Now, Michael had offers from CU and Penn State. Now, I was going to ask you that, Scheer. Was this a committable offer to Penn State?
I doubt it.
Yeah, we got to do something about the
nothing you can do, dude. What are you going to do?
How
do you do that? How? It's an offer.
Right. Well, yeah, but it's not really a committable. Here's what you need to do at 24/7. You need to have a committable offer list and a non-committable offer list. How about that?
Your kids would get so mad if we did anything remotely like that.
Oh,
like, how do you even approach that?
But it's true, though.
But Arizona does it too, where there's kids they offer and it's not committable anymore.
All right. Well, I don't like it. Yes. Brad Rich, Mike is doing ESPN radio and the pod, double duty, truly an unstoppable machine. I am basically Bruce Pascoe at this point, where just not taking any grief.
We got to get a picture of you doing the Bruce Pascoe picture special.
Oh yeah, no, we might. Tomorrow, since you're coming on, we're going to post that picture of Bruce Pascoe and we can show it. That is a great picture of Bruce Pascoe. But also, Bruce drives back and forth from Tucson all the time. We assume that he uses the Desert Financial Credit Union, correct?
I would hope so. If not, we need to set him straight.
Yes, exactly. And we would assume that Glenn uses the Desert Financial Credit Union as well. He seems like a very smart man. And Gringo Billy, the great Gringo Billy. Now, Desert Financial Credit Union. Here's the deal. Scheer, you want $200, right?
That's all I want.
All right. When you open a checking account online, get $200 in bonuses. Get started by visiting desertfinancial.com/200. Here's the deal with the Desert Financial Credit Union with the $200. I am going to be driving up to Vegas with Scheer for Media Day. Now, Scheer is probably going to want to fumigate the car after we get back to Tucson. You could use that $200 for a fumigation, Scheer.
Where are you staying, by the way?
What's that? I'm at the Bellagio.
Wow.
Not done.
Look at us.
Yeah,
look
dude,
at
seriously.
us.
So
there's a very real chance that Shelby kicks Mike out of the car at some point.
At what point I might be hitchhiking. So everybody have your Twitter open in case I need a ride. But the Desert but I might be able to use that $200 that I got from Desert Financial Credit Union to be able to pay you. Open the account, get $200. We will you will check it out later. All right. Now I love let's see here. Gringo Billy. I love Desert Financial Credit Union. Who needs Hughes? We agree with this. All right. Now, we're going to do everything we can. I am going to ask somebody that might know when the Big 12 schedule is going to be released. Jacob Franklin, will you join the show just for a second or no? All right. He said no.
Tomorrow.
Jacob's still recovering. He did say tomorrow. So we might, depending on if we can find out the time, we might, if it's okay with Jacob Franklin, we might move the show. Do you think we should move the show for the, I kind of think we should, if we can.
I have to drop Aurora off somewhere at 12 and pick her up at 2 tomorrow. Other than that, I should be fine.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to get this one. We'll get this one figured out. We will talk with Jacob Franklin. Mike has mapped out the Del Tacos from Tucson to Las Vegas. Yes, because you got the one on Euclid already. And so we can make that stop there. By the way, what time are we leaving? We're leaving Monday. What time are we leaving?
Early. And the drive home is going to suck too, because we have to go back after like the day of. Yeah. I don't know why you're going with me. Like I'm literally we're leaving after Arizona goes on media day. We're leaving. So it could be like we're leaving Vegas at like 4:00.
That's fine. I'll just sleep in the car and just sleep and fart and do all the good stuff. So it won't be hard for me. Tell me that. All right. But on that note, though, we will let you know on the time of the show. Plan for 10:30, everybody, because again, we rely on all of you because you're.
Hey, just text Jeff. He'll tell you. Text Jeff. He'll tell you. Seriously.
Jeff Bowe?
Yeah, he knows. Guarantee it.
You think he knows?
100%.
You know who probably knows? Clark. I think Clark's got a better idea than Jeff.
Yeah, we'll know. We'll tell the people. We'll tweet it out.
We will let you know. But on that note, though, Jason Scheer, where can they find you doing your work?
WildcatAuthority.com, Wildcat Scoop Podcast with Shelby, and at Jason Scheer on Twitter.
Hey, you want to hear something pretty cool? Guess who's got an exclusive with Brett Yormark?
Who? When's that going now? Media days?
A great magician does not reveal his secrets, but yes.
I'm going to say John Wilner. How's that?
Ha! No. But on that note, though, very much appreciate all of you. You guys are fantastic. You guys are great. We will be back with you tomorrow. We'll keep you in the loop on what it is. Possibly 10:30, but we will let you know. But as always, very much appreciate all of you. Too many greats to mention in one chat. I rely on all of you for my schizophrenic brain. Jason Scheer, you're the man. As Frank Caliendo says, you have a calming influence. Very much like that.
I'm very calming. Shelby doesn't think so, but what does she know? She doesn't know.
Yeah, she doesn't know anything. What does she know? All right. On that note, though, for Jason Scheer, I am merely Mike Luke, the great Jacob Franklin behind the scenes, making us sound cool, and Shane Diefenbach helping me out as well. You have been listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.